So the third type of civil liberty that we're going to talk about are religious freedoms, and we've talked about these previously as well. We said that the First Amendment has two clauses. One is the Establishment Clause, and the other is the Free Exercise Clause. So the Establishment Clause protects us from government-established religion, and then the Free Exercise Clause protects our freedom to practice our religion of choice. So both of those are found also in the First Amendment. So clearly to the founders, these were important as well. And then the fourth type of civil liberty are protections or liberties for those who have been accused of a crime. The Bill of Rights outlines several different protections from people specifically who've been accused of a crime. We're going to talk about some of them right now. So number one, the Bill of Rights protects you against self-incrimination. That's your Fifth Amendment right to not be forced to take the stand to defend yourself. So you have that protection in the Constitution, literally, against self-incrimination. That's in the Fifth Amendment. Second, we have the protection from double jeopardy. Double jeopardy means that if you've been found innocent, or the term that we use is acquitted, if you've been acquitted of a charge, so you've been charged with a crime, you've stood trial, you're found innocent, you cannot be charged and tried for that same crime again. That's called double jeopardy. And we have the protection from double jeopardy. Recently in the news, there was a report that a bloody knife was found at the estate of O.J. Simpson. Well, he was acquitted of the charge of first-degree murder. So what does that mean? It means that even if the blood on that knife turned out to be the blood of his ex-wife and her friend, Ron Goldman, if it turned out to be their blood, he still could not be tried and charged again. The third is that you have the right to a speedy public trial. So that term speedy has never been defined by the Supreme Court, but it means within reason you're supposed to be tried if you've been accused and charged with a crime. And a public trial, meaning that the doors can't be locked. You can go down to the courthouse today, and if there was a trial happening, you could just open the door and walk in and sit down and watch that trial take place. Trials are public in the United States. You have the right to counsel. That's in the Sixth Amendment. That means that you have the right to legal representation, the right to an attorney. That's the Sixth Amendment. You have the right to face an accuser and cross-examine witnesses. That means if someone accuses someone else of a crime and that person is now standing trial, the accuser can be forced to take the stand. The person who's been accused has a Fifth Amendment protection from taking the stand, but the accuser must take the stand. You have protection from excessive bail and excessive fines. Now, like the term speedy, excessive has never been completely defined by the court system. So There's some gray area to what exactly excessive means, just so you know. And then you have the protection against cruel and unusual punishment. Cruel and unusual punishment is where I always make the same ridiculous joke. It means that you can't be tickled to death by a clown because that would be both cruel and unusual. That's where I make that same stupid joke every time I talk about cruel and unusual punishment. But right now there's the question as to whether or not solitary confinement constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. That seems to be part of the national dialogue going on right now. I think ultimately that the courts will find that solitary confinement is cruel and unusual punishment, but that's a total sidebar. So these are all protections for those who are accused of crimes. And that is the end of this particular video. Talk to you soon. Bye.